Hi guys, this is Dinesh Kumar. Today we are going to see the subject industrial safety. In that industrial safety, we are going to see the third unit. The unit title is environmental control. It's nothing but whenever you are locating an industry, due to that industry, some of the pollutions have been happening in and around. For example, if you take that water pollution, land pollution, it should be occurred due to the industry's occupation. The thing which are being transferred from the nature to artificial, there should be some pollution is there. For that purpose, we are going to say the unit in environmental control. Control is nothing but it should be provided, it should be given by the governments. State government will provide some certain rules and central government will provide certain rules. If a company will satisfy the both the conditions and everything, then only they can run that company without the plan. So for that purpose, the company also doing some more audit, internal audit and external audit to be taken place. In the state government also having a auditing internally in each and every company once in a month, once in a year or 6 months once they will conduct the internal audit. So in this unit, we are going to see the topic that is industrial health hazards. Industry means all of you know they will provide some more product. It should be outsourcing for the customer. Health is nothing but the employees and the in and around the company that people's health. Hazard is nothing but pollution. Due to the pollution, who are being affected, whether the employees are affected or some of the people in and around our companies has been affected. These are the things we are going to discuss in this topic. Before entering into this topic, we just saw what is a chemical material. It's nothing but it a proportion of the combination of two chemical components produce one more component. It's called chemical. It forms a chemical material. The formation of the new component will cause us the harmfulness to the people. It will cause us to death some more time. It should be avoided. For that purpose, the industry should take care of that combination of the product, the outcome product. It should be causes hazard means the industry want to take care of that component. It's nothing but if your harmful gases are being recognized as an output of the product, that gases should be combined with another one chemical component to form the another component to be exist. That component, whatever the component should be formed due to that mutation of some other component, it should not be cause a hazard to the people. Then only it should be released from the company. Then only the people has been promoted from the hazard. Okay, so that the material, chemical material often will sell the products under trade name that do not indicate the chemical contribution of the component. It's nothing but before the years, the component, whichever the product has been produced by the chemical company, that it didn't use that component. What are the components are present there? What are the toxicity the level they present in the component? These are the things that are not have been given by a company. They maintain that as a secret. But due to that unknowing things, it should be causes a hazardous to the employees and the workers, those who are working in the company. So that so much of people has been affected by that. Some other people has been led to death also due to that proportion not understand by the people working the employees. For that purpose, federal legislation has been announced on one rule that is nothing but they want to be labelized. That is nothing but what are the chemical components you are using in the product and what are the toxic levels we are using the product. It should be trained to the employees. Those who are handling the chemical components, they want to know how to handle and then they want to know how to safeguard from that. If any accident occurs, they want to know. It should be taken place. If it want to happen means they want to have a clear idea about the product, what the toxic level, how they want to handle if any accident occurs, how they want to prevent from them, then what are the safety measures they want to take. That other things the employees, those who are working in the company, they want to know. Okay, for that purpose, federal legislation has been proposed that the requirement require chemical suppliers to provide the user with the material handling data sheet listing all of the chemical component of the product and the related toxicity. Nothing but, for example, if you take a medicine, an antibiotic tablet, that antibiotic tablet will contain the what are the chemical components present there and how much percentage is present there. These are the details present in the tablet. Nowadays, the tablets also having a some of marking, red color mark, blue color mark, access. Depend upon that toxicity, the color of the marking is happen in that tablet. Another one thing they did know, because of the doctor's prescription, they want to take the tablet because it is very toxic to the human being. But the doctor will prescribe due to that situation of the disease that will present on a human being. Depend upon the level of that disease, doctor will prescribe. Without that doctor's prescription, we won't take that antibiotic as a casual medicine. It will cause the side effects to the human beings. So that the federal legislation, they will propose that each and every product, what is its toxicity, what are the chemical components are present there. Likewise, the data sheet should be printed on the medicine. For example, I am telling about the medicine. If you are taking an example for an biscuit, likewise, if you take an example for an mobiles, they will give the data sheet, what the processor is present, what the speed, what the camera size, what the pixel size, like they will provide. The federal legislation will provide regulate the act, so that only after that act only they have been printed, and that printed sheet should be labeled on the product. Due to that, that employees will get aware of that product, how to use the product, how to avoid the accident. If any accident occurs, how to handle that situation. Likewise, they will know. For that, the legislation has been, federal legislation has been given one more rule also. If an employee is coming inside of a company, they want to well trained to the specific work. After the training period only, the employee should be given that place in that location of the company. What I am trying to say is, the employee should train, first of all train. After the training period, he want to be well expertise on that chemical hazard. Those who are having to handle the toxic gases and chemical components, he should be expertise. And then he wants to know if any accident happens, how to recover from that, how to avoid that, how to make safe for a human being, what are the safety measures you want to take. That are the things you want to know before placing in that position of handling the toxic chemicals. If you know, means the accidental death due to the chemical components should be avoidable. So these are the training should be given before placing an employee in a particular position. Then let we saw the forms of atmospheric contaminations. It's nothing but due to that chemical industries. What are the things have been polluted? What are the things have been across that in and around the company who has been affected? Likewise, we want to see. The first thing is dust. Next is fumes, gas, mist, smoke, vapors. These other things have been affected due to the industries. Due to the things, the human has been affected by that. Human has been affected due to the industries, locations nearby the living place. Dust is nothing but if you are working in the rock or in a metal company, they want to grind them, they want to drill them. That micro dusters will be mixed with the air and travels into a living room. It will enter into a lungs or liver, enter into a nose, and it will enter into the lungs. It causes a trouble. It will cause some of the asthma also that will cause. Some of the times the dust will be deposited on the rooftop floors, and slowly it enters to a living room. It causes a harmfulness to a human being. So it can be avoided. How we should be avoided is that like that particles, if they are deposited on the roof, it should be periodically cleaned by the owners. Okay, due to the unsafetiness of the industries, these dusters are distributed and travel to the air, and it will be deposited on the home tops, and then it enter into a living room. It causes huge accidental activities to the human beings. So it should be avoidable. Next is fumes. Fumes is nothing but a solid particle generated by condition from the gas state. It's nothing but if you are boiling that water, it will be goes to the gaseous state after 100 degrees Celsius. If you mold a metal, if you are having heated more than 1000 degrees, it will be created as fume. That fumes is not a good for a human being. If you breathe that fumes, it will causes the breathing problem. So that it should be avoided. Okay. So that if the employees working in the metal, molten metals industries, they want to wear the mask and they want to wear the shoes because the metals has been heated for a huge temperature. If accidentally a metal piece, it will be fell on your legs. It causes a danger. Okay, yeah, human has been affected by that, so that it should be avoided. Next thing is gas. It's nothing but if a chemical component mixing with another chemical component forms a gas. That gas, if it enters into a human being, it causes the danger. It causes good death also. Some of the things. Some of the gas will be entered into a human. It will cause the death, so that it should be avoidable. How it should be avoidable? If the gas fumes are formed, that gas will be reacted with another chemical component. It will form another gas. That gas should not be very toxic. Then only it should be exposed to the environment. Otherwise, it should be again treated with another chemical component. If the toxic level is very low, then only it should be exposed to the environment. Okay, this wise only we will reduce that toxicity of came from the industry. For that purpose only, central and state government has been auditing their company twice a year or once a year. But it should be avoided if a company is auditing a internal audit for every week or every month. It should be avoidable. Next is mist. Due to the liquid droplets, if it causes due to that disperser state, flashing, forming the atmospheric, it will cause the hazard to the people. If you're traveling in a two-wheeler, a mist has been caused due to the chemical component. It will be fell on your eyes. It will cause the irritation in your eyes. So it should be avoidable. For that purpose, they want to avoid the droplet. It should coming from that industry. There is nothing but a mist caused with due to that industry chemical component. It's nothing but a chemical. It will mix with the air. It causes that mist. If the mist enters the clouds for a certain time, it will travel in the cloud. After that time, it will comes down to the earth as a rain. It should be a purely acid rain. It should be avoidable because that acid rain which causes a danger to the land. It pollutes the land. It causes the land to trouble. It will be hazardous to the human being. How it should be hazardous to the human being? If you plant a vegetables or whatever the food product we will be get from that acid rain, it should be an acid. If you add that product, it will be very tough to a human being, so that it should be avoidable. In order to avoid that mist, they want to plant more trees in and around the industry, so that it will be avoidable. It's the smoke. The smoke is nothing but when you are traveling a two-wheeler, it will be causing so much of carbon monoxide. It should be avoidable. How it should be avoidable? If your traveling level will be very low, it will be avoidable. If you are traveling two friends in a two different bikes, it should be avoided. If you are friend traveling with a one single bike, it should be avoided. So that usage of that petroleum product, if you avoid that, the smoke coming from that should be avoided. For example, if you take Delhi, and the smoke coming from the automobile is very high due to that oxygen level in the Delhi is very low. In order to avoid that, Delhi government has been taking so much of steps, but they are not able to recover that normal air because the usage of the four-wheelers and two-wheelers are very high in Delhi. It will again contaminate the air. That will cause the air pollution. Due to that, they are not able to get the oxygen level up to the mark. So that they have been banned the two-wheelers and four-wheelers in odd numbers and even numbers for vice versa days. So that in order to avoid that, we want to plant more number of trees to get a pure air as oxygen level. If the level atmospheric level will be increases in the oxygen level, that only the land should be workable for that human being to live in the space. Next is vapors. When you burn the water, it will go to a vapor state. Okay. For example, I say this as a water. If you burn a chemical component, it will go to the vapor state. That vapor should be diffused because that vapor enter into a human being, it causes a harmfulness to a human being. So that it should be avoidable. If you are not able to avoid that vapor, it will cause the death for a human being. Some of them have goes to lose the eyes also. So it should be avoidable. Okay. Then how we will avoid that vapor. That same chemical component should be reacted to another chemical component. It will provide another one reaction as an output. That output of that product should be very less in toxicity. Then only it will be mixed with the environment. Then only it will cause that pollution level should be very low. Air should be polluted, but the pollution level of the air should be very, very less when you are doing like that. Chemical mixtures is nothing but, yeah, trichloroethylene. It should be burned if you are having a flame. Flame on that means that liquid will be burned. If it evaporated, trichloroethylene, it will be affect the eye. It causes irritation. Some of them have been hazardous to the living also. So that if the trichloroethylene is burned, that gas will be evaporated, so that the toxic level of that chemical component should be avoided. It doesn't cause that hazard to the human being when you burn that trichloroethylene. The next is detecting and sampling. It's nothing but whenever if you are having a company, we want to check internal audit in every week or month. Then only we can able to sample the toxic level that is coming from the industry. Then only we will change the alternative plans. When you are taking the samples and going for a test, then only we can able to detect how much toxicity we are leaving to the environment. If you are taking as a consideration, then only it will doesn't affect the employees and in and around company, the people they are staying, I don't know, that people are being safeguarded. Okay, so that it should be avoided for detecting and sampling. It's nothing but we want to detect the toxic level and then we want to take the sample and then we want to continuously we want to monitor the whatsoever air contamination is there if due to the industry, or else what is the contamination of the water is there due to our industries. Likewise, we want to continuously monitor that. Then only we can able to identify that level how much contamination is there. Depend upon that, we want to changing the process. We can avoid that contaminations and then hazardous coming from the industry. If it's rising means we want to again we want to modify that. Continuously we want to monitor and then we want to avoid the hazardous situation that we cause due to the industries. Thank you. We will see in the next video.